Hello, my friends and Gary Goyles. Welcome back to Conversing with Poet. We got 7 viewers already. Hello, everyone. Hello, Bruno. Welcome, Judge Death. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Wednesday's Child. Hello, Garage Poets. Delgo. Hello. I think that's everyone. If I've missed anyone out, Callum. Hello. Welcome back to the live. Thank you so much. I'm at work. Oh, naughty. At 5 past 5. Dear Lord, get out of there, son. Hello, welcome back to Conversing with Poets. Hello to anyone watching playback. We currently have 7 viewers and only 2 likes. So if you're watching, make sure you hit that like button. Today's I only have the one topic. Sunday, Tuesday, it comes around very, very quickly, and before I knew it, I'm sitting here again. So I've only got the one topic for now. Hopefully something comes up. If you think of anything, guys, don't be shy because we will need it as the stream goes on. However, as it stands, we do have a interesting topic which comes from Wednesday's Child, which was suggested over on the Poetry Code forum, the general discussion thread. I have to remind you guys, I've said it before. I didn't say it in the last 2 streams, I don't think, but I will say it this time around. What we're going to be discussing today could, lean either way, and we're gonna discuss it. But as always, I ask that we are just decent people about it. We're respectful, and we just have a open, respectful discussion. I don't want anyone ripping anyone else the new asshole or whatever. Okay, it can be very, very. Um, we might be walking on thin ice. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But basically, we are talking about, and the title of the live stream is a little bit dramatic. It's a little bit clickbaity for those who might watch uh, playback. But we're just going to be talking about censoring um, older pieces, older books. So it's happened to Roald Dahl, Ian Fleming, the author of um, James Bond, and I think it's happening in a couple of other places too. So we're going to be discussing that. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time just for people to drop in. We've got 8 viewers already. That's awesome, but only 3 likes. So let's make sure if you're watching, you hit that like button. I usually wait until we get about 5 likes, and then we'll go into the discussion. That's how I know we're ready. I'm cancelling you, Adam, for breaking my heart. I'm sorry, Bruno. I'm sorry. You break my heart. Hang on a minute. If you want to go there, you broke my heart today. We were supposed to be meeting tomorrow, and you said you don't know if you want to see me. um, Speaking of likes and getting to 5 likes before we move on, I was going over my analytics today, and I was thinking, there's not many challenges I set you guys that you don't hit. The last live stream has hit 20 likes. We're pretty much hitting 100 views each stream. So you guys are pretty. Look at that, bang, straight away, 7 likes, boom. See, This is exactly what I'm talking about. There aren't many challenges. I don't think there's ever been a challenge that I've set you guys in the whole time I've been doing this channel that you guys haven't reached. Haha, I want to, not sure I can. Yeah, I've heard it all before. You just don't love me anymore, Bruno. You just don't want to see me. Um, yeah, there's not many challenges I set you guys that don't hit. I was gonna say I have to start, setting harder challenges for you guys, but I have set the challenge for 10,000 subscribers by this time next year, which is quite the challenge. So I think, yeah, we'll see how we go with that one. Okay, we're on 8 likes. I'll give it one more minute. I'll give it till 10 past, and then we'll get started. I have a XXXL hoodie on, 3 extra large, so I'm nice and cozy. Wow, look at all those hearts coming in. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so let's again keep it respectful, guys. Whatever your opinion is, it's okay to have different opinions to other people as long as we're nice about it. So let's talk about from Wednesday's Child. Let's talk about the topic of censoring older text. I don't know so much about poetry. Has it happened in poetry? I know, as I've said, um, Ian Fleming and the James Bond series, as well as the some Roald Dahl, and I, off the top of my head, Dr. Zeus. They've changed some of Dr. Zeus's stories as well. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But the floor is yours, guys. I will see what you guys have to put, and obviously I have my opinion, but I need to try and long it out as much as possible because we have only got the one topic and quite a while left. So yeah, what do you think? Also, to those watching in playback, uh, we had a huge spike in subscribers since the last live stream. So thank you so much for that. I believe I set the 10,000 mark goal in the last live stream, and then all of a sudden we had a big spike in subscribers. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate. And don't be shy. Do make sure you're leaving comments in playback as well. I know Judge Jeff, um, you left a comment in the last playback as well. Hello, Kaylee. Welcome back. Welcome back. We were just getting started. I was just kind of saying about how awesome my subscribers are because whenever I set a challenge, you always seem to meet it. So thank you for that. And now we're just discussing respectfully, we're discussing about how we feel with older pieces of literature being censored and altered, such as Roald Dahl, Ian Fleming, and I think Dr. Seuss as well, but I could be wrong on that. Roald Dahl had his books edited. A lot of publishers have employed sensitivity readers. Yes, so I'm not going to lie, I wasn't completely up on this topic. So just before the stream, I did do a quick Google search. I read a couple of articles, and obviously formed my opinion from that. I don't think it's so much poems being censored right now as poets, but I don't think it'll be long before the situation reaches the poetry community. Probably right. You're probably right. When you say right now as much as poets, what do you mean by that? Do you think editing to remove offensive terms is different to censorship? So from the article that I read today, and kind of just trying to prepare for this live stream, it seems like the things that are being altered, if you like, are obviously racial slurs, offensive terms. There was one that I read in a particular article, I think it was The Independent, and it gave an example of one of the things that was altered, and I've forgotten it now. What was it? What was it? The sweet, the sweet something, the sweet aura of um a word that rhymed with the fruit grape. I have to say that because I know that if I when I publish this, YouTube will pick up on certain trigger words and just strike off the video. So um yeah, the sweet aura of um and it's it's difficult, isn't it? Because on the one hand, on the obvious hand, I can see why that's quite disturbing, and I can see why it would be removed from the book. And that's just the one example that I have for this video. As I say, I'm not completely up on this. I had to read for this live stream, so I don't know any other examples. I'm sure that there are worse ones, and I'm sure that there are lighter ones as well. But certainly reading that kind of in this day and age kind of jars me personally, jars me a little bit, and can see why it would want to be removed. Same with like racial slurs and stuff. As a white man sitting here, it's difficult. I haven't really experienced certain things, so I can only imagine, try and put myself in someone's shoes that might have experienced that. And if there are racial slurs in books and racial stereotypes, then I can see why that would be removed and why people would call for that to be removed. On the other hand, I can see the other argument where people are like, you're erasing history, you're defacing art, and you shouldn't censor art and stuff like that. Let me just catch up on the chat. Saying, hang on, let me catch up. I don't think it's so much poems. Yep, yep. Saying we should have certain work schools because of the poet's beliefs or behavior, for example. Okay, so that I don't agree with. I'm not sure I agree with that. If you're not going to have a book, yeah, if you're not going to have someone's book in a library because of their beliefs and stuff, I don't know if I agree with that, because you kind of have to separate the art from the artist. If the poet has like amazing poems that deserve to be read, then it would be my opinion that it should be in a library. Um, yeah, you've got to separate the art from the artist. If you are changing the original text, then it's soft censorship. Agreed. Dole's books were edited by his family, though, not his editors. Hang on. Oh, not his editors, which is a little different. Dole's books were edited by his family, not his editors. Are we talking about the original book or the new modern book? What was I saying? Yeah, so I can see the argument for like art should be free, and by changing these texts, you're erasing history. Um, and there's that saying that um, what is it? There's that saying that by erasing these sorts of things, you're 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 allowing it to happen again. And I'm trying to, yeah, I'm there are other aspects in human history where people have said we shouldn't teach this, we shouldn't do that, because it's upsetting. And then the counter argument to that has been that if you stop teaching it and you forget about it, then it's likely to happen again. Now, I'm talking about a very, very particular sort of moment in our history, dark in our history, that can't really be compared to the book. Can it? I don't know. Can it? Tell me I'm wrong. Can it be compared to book? So there's also that argument. But I think in this day and age, and this is where I'm going to sort of wrap up my thoughts and really get stuck into the chat and talk to you guys. I think where my final sort of thought on it is, so you guys changed my mind, is that I can see why certain things are being removed for people, and I can see the argument for not having it done. So why can't, I would think both should exist. I think both copies should exist. You should have the, not necessarily, no, not the toned down version at all. The um the version that's gone through sensitivity readers, right? And then the original text. And in the original text, here's something we've already spoken about before. In the original text, have trigger warning, and this is something I've taken from the Independent article. They talk about Looney Tunes and how Warner Brothers um, have a content warning before each episode that says, at the time these cartoons were made, certain things were the case in society, and don't reflect modern society, but we haven't altered that. That where I think I would sit. Have a world with both issues. Don't completely wipe out the original text, but certainly I think, yeah, you can. Yeah, I think censorship can be all right if it's needed. I'm going to catch up on the chat now because I'm basically talking and talking and talking. Charles Book. Editing is editing. It doesn't matter who does it. It's still soft censorship. If it's a racial slur, I can see that editing is a good thing. But where does it end? Is banning a book from a library because of the writer's belief any different to an individual or group removing a book from a library because of their? That's a good point. That's a good point. As I say, my thoughts on that is that if the poem is perfectly okay and not just an absolute load of racial slurs and basically a super offensive poem, if the poem is perfectly okay, I think it should be in a library for people to read and enjoy. Just because the poem's good doesn't mean the poet's good, right? The new book were changed by his estate, which I'm saying is not the same as the publisher making the changes. Um, yes, yes and no. I half agree with that, Garage Poets, because yes, it's a better thing that the family and the estate changed the book because they have Roald Dahl's best interest, I guess, and probably know him better than any Tom, Dick, and Harry, Mr. Editor Smith. But at the same time, it's still not Roald Dahl, if that makes sense. It's still not Roald Dahl. It's still someone else doing it. But as I say, I think there's room in the world for both versions. And I know that sounds like a cop out. It's not meant to sound like a cop out. I genuinely think that there is room for both versions of the world, and one can pick and choose which one they'd prefer to pick up from the bookshop. I don't like the idea of retroactively censoring a work to suit modern sensibilities. That's mainly from a historical perspective. We discuss language so much when looking at the past. I would mousepad is far too sensitive. I would rather have a discussion about why those words or topics were included than a blanket removal of a term with no discourse for those who haven't read the original. Yeah, yeah. I personally, again, as someone who believes there's room in this world for both versions, I personally believe that that would be a discussion to be had in schools. At what age you have that discussion in schools and that lesson in a school, I don't know. I would imagine secondary school or high school if you're in America. I don't think you need to have that discussion. Uh, any sooner than secondary school, completely blanked out there. And again, that something the independent article mentioned was that it's a job for parents. But although they said that, sticking up for the fact of not having the censorship, not having, you know, they said it's up to the parents to have that conversation with the kids. Yes, no, uh, yes and no. It's an interest, isn't it? It's an interest. I don't know if changing the language of a children's book to suit modern times equates to some sort of big brother wanting everyone to think the same. Language changes over time. Queen Victoria's daughter edited her diaries before submitting them into public record. We've lost a lot of the inner thoughts of one of our most noteworthy monarchs to save the family. Blush. Yeah, yeah, but I would separate. I understand what you're saying. But I would separate journal from novels. Is that what you put? Sorry. We lost a lot of inner. Where did I read that? Queen Victoria's daughter, her diaries. Yeah, I would say that's slightly different than mass-produced novels. But I understand what you're saying because now we don't know what people are really like because it got, someone, it got edited to save, as you say, save the family's blush. Language does not. Uh, Language does change over time, and a book written 20 years ago should not be edited. It reflects time. Yeah, so that's a big argument, right? It reflects the time that it was written in. But then, but, but I think I still look. I still think there's room for both versions. And in terms of reflecting the times it was written, I would think it's up to museums and college, university professors, to have that sort of conversation. If people really want to go down that avenue, I'm just thinking if I'm just thinking if there's an option, if my if you know one day in the future I ever have kids and they were 6, 7, and they just happened to wander into a bookshop and picked up something. Then again, you could kind of say, are children do children even pick up on those sort of things at such a young age? It's a very good topic. Thank you for bringing it up, when child. I was going to say, let me finish off what I was going to say. I kind of stopped myself and changed my mind mid sentence. I was going to say, if I ever had a kid who wandered into a bookshop and picked up a book and which had a racial slur in it, would I, if the option was there, would I rather him pick up the book that didn't have that? And we're getting stuck on racial slurs at the moment. That example I read in Independent about SA, the sweet aura of rhymes with the fruit grape. Um, that's just, I don't know. I don't know if that belongs in books, to be honest with you. Oh yeah. Uh, so I was saying about my kid going into a bookshop. Then I stopped myself and really thinking, would a kid really pick up on a archaic slur? Let me catch up on the chat. Sorry, guys. Language does change over, be edited. It reflected its time. As a history lover, that endlessly frustrates. But as a relative who held a deceased loved one's journals, can understand not wanting that out. That's different racial slurs. I appreciate. This mouse pad far too sensitive. Message pinned. I just pinned a message and hang on, I've got to unpin that now. Sorry. Uh, the touch click on this mouse pad is way too sensitive. But that's different to racial slurs. I appreciate, but it's what I mean about the impact of words as historical source material. Yeah, yeah. But I think historians would preserve that, right? Scholars, literary scholars would preserve that, and I'm sure that there will always be a talk about it. Well, I would hope, yeah, I would hope always be a talk about it anyway. That's basically what I'm trying to say in a much less concise way. This mousepad. In order to maintain the intent of the story, sometimes changing the language is in order. I don't think Zeus or Darwin intended to write a story that stirred up racial contrast. That's a very good point. I don't know about the first half of that. In order to maintain the intent of the story, sometimes changing the language is in order. I'm not sure I wholly agree with that, but that second part I definitely agree with. I don't think Zeus or Darwin intended to write a story that stirred up racial controversy. I agree with you. I was replying to Garage Lol. Oh, okay. Is this where we are as a species? Are we going to sanitize everything and wipe away the history of humanity because somebody gets offended by the word? fat in a book. It's ridiculous. Um, okay. So again, the only example I've seen is of a certain kind of assault, the sweet aroma of a certain kind of assault and racial slurs. That again, I wholeheartedly would say doesn't belong in the book. Someone getting offended by the term fat, then yeah, I don't think the word is that what is getting censored? Because I think there are two very different degrees of um I understand that there are some people who get upset by that term fat, but I think SA and racial slurs are definitely on a different um, tier of offensive. But if you're saying that because you're aware of a very specific um, um, piece of text that has been changed because of that, then please let me know. Because again, you guys might be more in the know than I am. I had to do quick research today just for the stream. No, she banned the original journal. We only have the edited versions. We should be more mindful of what we write in the future. Yeah, free speech doesn't mean you should say something because you can. Yeah, what was written in the past should remain as a reflection of history. Yeah, again, I think there's room in the world for two versions, and the original version with a little content warning on the front, like the Looney Tunes example. This book, this text was written at a certain time, doesn't reflect modern society. Read on with caution. Bang, done, no problem. If you want that version, have that version. And then I do think, if it's racial slurs and um, I don't know how to tiptoe around it so that YouTube still likes the channel. But I'm hoping you guys are on the same wavelength as I am and understand what I'm saying when I say essay or word that rhymes with great. Glorifying that again, I don't think it's needed. So I don't mind if that's the sort of stuff that's getting taken out of book. So I think there's room for both versions. Oh, was it? Okay. The word fat was removed from a Roald Dahl. Okay. That in that case, I think that's ridiculous. I understand some people. Is there a difference in books and movies concerning racial slurs? Many movies do quite well considering this. I'll come back to and come back to that. Yeah, if the word I understand that some people might be upset by that term, but I don't think that you need to. I don't know. I mean, I say that now. Right, here's a good example. I say right now that I don't think that warrants censorship and removing. Give it 20 years, that may be where we are, and people might genuinely be super offended by it. Again, it's difficult for someone. Okay, okay, let's flip it. As someone who has always hated their body, like always hated their body, I'm just now, I know I'm in a 3XL hoodie, so you can't really see it. I'm just now kind of enjoying my body, and I've been going to the gym since September, and I lifted 100 kg yesterday, which was great. So I'm getting to a place that I like it. But I've always been what's known as an ectomorph. I've always been super skinny and absolutely hated it. Never had any confidence in myself because of it. But, and I guess this is just me, and it has affected me like massively. Whenever people would say, "Oh, you're a bit thin, you need to eat a bit more," they didn't mean anything by it, but oh my God, would it put me in a depression for a long time? So I get it, but I would never call for someone to change a book because of it. I would never do that. But that's me. So that seems a bit extreme, what I'm saying. Okay, going back to Tanya, is there a difference in books and movies concerning racial slurs? Many movies do quite well considering slurs. That's a good point. That stumped me. That stumped me because if you come to me and said, okay, a movie, 12 Years a Slave, needs to change change the words in the script, then it's not historically accurate, isn't it? So well done, Tanya. You just stumped on that one. You just stumped me on that one. But I guess the difference is 12 Years a Slave is like a historical movie, right? Um, Roald Dahl wasn't writing a history book; he was writing a children's book, right? Is that right? What do you guys think? You have to take into context that, yeah, you have to kind of take into context what's going on. You wouldn't expect a racial slur to crop up in Iron Man, and I'm just kind of trying to relate kids' films to kids' books. You wouldn't expect that to crop up. If Roald Dahl was censored for racial slurs, I think I think I read that he was. So yeah, you wouldn't expect that in Spider-Man. Yeah, I do think the publishing world does pander a little bit. Roald Dahl was writing at a time when the word fat was considered a playground insult. Yeah, I mean in my head it still is. But that again, that's me. Um, Again, when I was called skinny, it would affect me and stuff, but I wouldn't call for a censoring of it. Not the worst thing in the world to be called. And I'm a security guard. There's not much I haven't been called. I've been called nearly everything under the sun. In fact, it's at a point where if I hear something new, I'm actually kind of impressed. I wouldn't dream of cancelling or whatever. You know what I mean? Having an entire book rewritten for the word skinny. Yeah, is that what book is that? Because I know that um, Matilda, there's controversy around Matilda. Is it from Matilda? And if you're watching this on playback, guys, this is quite a serious topic, I guess. So we need as much debate and discussion as possible. So do leave a comment down below. Are the original books still? Oh, okay. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Okay, that makes sense. Are the original text still available? Like how I say it should be? There's enough space for both versions. Yes, Wednesday Child. That's why I think it makes sense to change it now to something that resonates as a playground insult to keep the book relevant to modern children. Luke has enormous fat. It was changed to just enormous. Okay. To be honest, I'm surprised the Twit's still in publication. Okay, yeah. To, it was changed to just enormous. I mean, that's not it's not the worst in the world, but you do kind of lose that signature uh, playfulness of Roald Dahl's writing. Not like kids can't relate to that word though. I mean, to be honest, like, I don't know, the world's a nasty place, and it doesn't matter how much we censor it. Yeah, censor the world. It's always going to be a nasty place. That's just reality. That's just reality. It's up to when it comes to children, it's up to their mentors, their teachers, their parents to kind of steer them in the right direction. I don't think, yeah, if we're coming at the angle of pe- kids can't shouldn't be exposed to that because it make them a bully. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. Um, I can kind of see, I can kind of see the point of it upsetting people, but again, you know, I think it's someone said it in the chat. If you censor the word fat, at what point do you stop? Because something's always going to hurt someone's feelings. That's just the way of the world. Sorry, guys. They know the word. They relate to it different. It's a bigger insult now than it was then. Oh, I don't know. Is it a bigger insult now than it was then? I mean, there are a lot of sort of body positivity organizations, charities, and influencers out there. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying that in my old age. Maybe I'm just saying that in my old age. Obviously, when we were kids, things upset us a lot more. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind, guys. At the moment, we're stuck on children's books. You know, we haven't even addressed the fact that Ian Fleming wrote, you know, a very much adult book glorifying essay. Um, but let's also keep in mind that things, uh, little things like, I guess, being called fat would upset a kid a lot more than it would upset a 31-year-old, you know. And again, if someone called me skinny, it would still sting, but I wouldn't go overboard. They know the word. Yeah, how is in text aimed at, at children, arming them for the real world? I learned so much from the books I read. Not a bigger insult now. Just look at the fat shaming that happened in gossip magazines back in the 90s. Naughty is more of a detriment to a child. It is more of a detriment. Kids will always tease. Yeah, kids will always tease each other. They will find anything to tease each other. You know, if they got a booger hanging out their nose, a kid's gonna get ripped into for a week. You know, there's always going to be something. The kids, if a kid's jumper is washed out and a little bit different color, you know, there's always going to be something. It's more of a depth. Oh, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. It's a very interesting topic. It's a very interesting topic and one that should be had. And as Wednesday Stroud said before, you know, it's at the moment it's novels. It's probably not going to be long until it hits our as poetry. So how do we feel about that? And again, I think personally, I think the word fat might be a little bit light. That's me. You know, that's me. Even if someone said skinny in a book, I don't think I would call for it to be removed from the book. But there are let's be very mindful of the fact there are different tiers to this. And at the moment we're probably, in my opinion, we're probably talking about the lowest tier of censorship, which could which is being argued that it's the most important one to discuss, I guess, because racial slurs is just there's no space for it, there's no room for it, and same with essay. In my censor a word, and people will. This heart guy is, it's just we'll find a new one to replace it. There you go, there you go. And language is evolving all the time. There's I can't keep up with all the new text lingo. In my day, it was just LOL, ROFL, ROFL, LMAO, and that was it. Now there's all types of different. There's a lot more body positivity now, which is good. In 2023, any kind of body shaming is a big deal. The light teasing is different now, and I'd like to reflect today's light teasing. Hmm. See now that is an interesting one. I don't know. I don't know if I would. And if I'm misunderstanding your point, Garage Poet, please correct me. I don't know if I'd call for um alteration to a book just for the sake of reflecting modern society. I don't know if I'd want that just for that sake alone. Um, I'm sure. I mean, person. No, I'm not going to say it. But there are authors writing books for children in this day and age that they're more likely to read now anyway. The world today is a minefield of people being offended. I think it's made us all more thoughtful. Yeah, of course, of course. Um, Hang on, let me take that in. The world today is a minefield of people being offended. Yes, it is. Hence why I say that whatever you put, some will find offense. Look, I bet 15, maybe not even in 15 years, it might not even take that long. In 7 years, someone will come back and want that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to have enormous removed. Someone being enormous. And if that gets removed, what's the alternative? You change the story completely, I would imagine. You can't, if you see what I'm saying. I think it's made us all more thoughtful. Yeah, and that's obviously only ever going to be a good thing, that humanity is more thoughtful of each other. Well, I say that. Are we more thoughtful of each other? I don't know. I feel like people are more selfish these days. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, and to some degree it is true. Yeah. Salman Rushdie said that art will outlive censorship, but the artist is vulnerable. That's true. By the way, the discussion is awesome. Yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying the discussion. And I think it's genuinely an important. So nice to see people pushing back respectfully on a YouTube chat without fighting to. Yeah, it's actually part of the reason I have struggled to write, terrified of unintentionally offending. Yeah, yeah, I wrote a poem. I don't know if you've ever seen. I wrote a poem. That's it. I'm just telling you I wrote a poem. No, I wrote a poem. I took it to an open mic at the Poetry Society Cafe in London, and I read it. And I sat down, and the compere sat up and called it transphobic. I was like, "What?" Like, guys, I, I'm I hope you guys know me well enough by now. That's far from who I am. But this is what I'm saying in terms of poetry. People reading your poetry and interpreting it different ways. So um, that poem will never see the light of day again because I don't ever want it to be um, construed as that. So there you go. That may be a perfect example of what we're talking about tonight. But I'm also not. I'm not like um, sad or gutted that that poem is now shelved because if that's what people take away from it, then I don't want it out there. Quite frankly, we live in a weird world. Roald Dahl has the word fat from it. Stephen King wrote a child orgy in it. Did he really? I haven't read that, and nobody's speaking about that disgusting old man. Weird. But that was only one person's opinion. Yeah, but then when I read it, I could see how easily it's interpreted that way, and it's shelved for now. Maybe I'll go back to it and rework it just so it keeps its original meaning, but without coming across as transphobic. Art meant for adults has a different standard. Yeah, and here's the thing: if I watch a Marvel film, off the top of my head, I can imagine them using the word fat and playground insults. But when you look at the higher tier of things, I wouldn't expect a Marvel film to have any kind of racial racial element to it at all. But who knows in 20 years' time? Well, let's say in 50, 70 years' time, when if we're still on this planet, if it hasn't eaten us alive, uh, who knows? People might watch Marvel films with, you know, open wide mouths. Like, how on earth is this shown in cinema? I don't know. I don't know. That first hour has gone very, very quickly, guys. I appreciate you being respectful to each other and just having this conversation. And we've already hit our target of 10 likes and then some. So this has been a good stream. Thank you, guys. Sorry that happened. Oh, I missed that. Sorry, sorry, sorry. The first time I shared my work online, it was on a forum where I got absolutely slaughtered. Pure pain. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you. I hope that wasn't on the Cove. If you're watching this, by the way, and you haven't jumped in, we're just discussing censoring older older texts of like books, for example. So don't be shy. Do get involved in the chat where you feel comfortable, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Same as if you're watching playback, and don't forget if you haven't already, click subscribe and turn on notifications. We are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by this time next year, and I think we can do it. I have to do my part in actually making consistent content, and I'm really looking forward to putting that out for you. I've been thinking about January's content and videos. Herb, hello, finally made it live. Great to have you here. I know that name. I know you're a cover. Good to see you. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, hit subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 10,000 by this time next year. No, no, not on the Cove. It was back in I think 2008 when I was dabbling. Okay. Well, it's not okay, but I'm glad it didn't happen under my banner. Wow, we're really hitting those likes tonight. Wow, it's really popping off. You've joined a good stream, Herb. We're just talking about censorship in books like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The word "fat" was taken out, but also more seriously, in books like Ian Fleming's James Bond, there is a phrase. It's something like the sweet. It's the sweet something of um um a word that rhymes with grape, the fruit, the sweet aroma of which personally I don't think there's any room for in our literature. I do understand what the lovely folks in the chat are saying about not disrupting history and keeping it for history and it reflects the times. I see that, and it's my opinion that a bookshop should hold two copies, one censored copy and the original text that carries like a content warning. And I was just saying how I understand the argument for uh, history and stuff, but I would imagine that literary scholars would preserve that, libraries should preserve that. Talking about libraries, that maybe they won't, which has come up already, um, and universities and stuff. So I would imagine it wouldn't get lost, but I can see the argument for both sides, and I'm genuinely not saying that to be a cop out. I can see the argument for both sides. I don't agree with the word fat being taken out of a book, but who am I? Show 14 likes. Why does it do this every time? I don't understand why I'm a like behind everyone else. I did end up putting poetry away until 2020. Figured I wasn't good at it. I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm glad that you found your way back. Genuinely glad that you found your way back. You posted your first poem on the Cove, and it was amazing. If you're a Cover in the chat, by the way, guys, head over to, and you're a member Cover, head over to share your poetry, because Wednesday Stroud shared a poem the other week, and it's very, very good. Yeah, exactly. Who just want to talk trash instead of giving constructive criticism. Yeah, 100%. Okay, now I've caught up to 14 likes. Someone's going to tell me in the chat now it's on 50. Thank you so much for those hearts, guys. I can see those popping in. Thank you very much. The Baudelaire might actually be the last vestibule of free speech. Would make an excellent movie. A group of readers protecting medieval manuscripts from zombies. That sounds pretty cool. I'm still showing one like. What? Judge Jeff, you were like the guardian of the likes. You were protecting the likes, keeping me informed. In the last two streams, you've been stuck on one. I don't know what's going on. 12 viewers. Wow, we're 12 viewers and 14 likes. This is a good one. Unfortunately, we got 4 minutes left because I need a loo break and another coffee. Um, I joined a writing group at the behest of a friend and then totally restored my passion for writing. Good, good. That's a good friend. Okay, let's take a quick break. I need to go to the loo. I don't know what we're going to be talking about for part two. We may even continue this discussion if people want to. But I need to go to a loo. So, a loo, B loo. I've only got. So yeah, let's take a quick break and back in 5 minutes. Hey guys, how are we doing? Uh, Baby Ezra, hello, hello. Didn't see you. You can. The shame is that many marginalized people groups didn't have a. Oh, hang on, just mute that. Written record. So the only record we have, though distorted, is through some of these books. I'm glad you kept writing. Yeah, and again, I understand that statement, but I can't. I honestly can't see researchers at, say, Oxford or Cambridge or Harvard or Princeton, um, just letting these manuscripts completely disappear. The British Library alone, I don't know if you guys know this, but the British Library alone has 5 underground floors of archive. If you self-publish a book that has a ISBN, you have to, by law, send a copy of that book to the British Library so they can archive it by law. Um, so I understand the argument of preserving history, but I really don't think that it will be lost because there will be scholars and researchers that keep the original text. I think we will sort of move on for a part 2 topic. No idea what that's going to be. We're going to fly blind, guys. But if you want a part 2 to this, by all means, just request it. But for now, let's just freshen it up with a different topic of discussion. I'm just going to let everyone come back from their loo break or their coffee break, whatever they're doing right now. No one's speech is free from other people's speech. No one's speech is free from other people's speech. Yeah, but that yeah, Britain may do a better job than the US at preserving history. Oh, maybe. I don't know about the US, but I know the National British Library. If you even if you're self-publishing, if it has an ISBN and it's actually I think it has to be registered with Nielsen. By law, you have to donate a copy of your book for them to keep on archive. I guess BB Ezra, we've just been doing it a lot longer than you guys. I think since the Elizabethan era, I think record keeping became a big thing. Again, me and my Elizabethan era. But let's find a new topic. Does anyone? Thank you, Wednesday. Thank you, Wednesday Adams. No, thank you, Wednesday's Child, for that awesome suggestion. Let's find one for part two. For yeah, part two of this stream. And if you guys want to come back to this at any point, just message me and let me know, and we'll look at doing a part two to this stream. This discussion. Oh gosh, you know what I'm talking about. There's so many part twos. By the way, guys, before I forget, I have a Christmas party on Thursday. Work do Christmas party that I kind of want to go to. I don't really go to these things, but I think I'm going to go to this one. So there won't be a live stream on Thursday. So after this, the next time I see you guys will be Sunday. So that should give us plenty of time to think of some cool topics anyway. But yeah, I'd rather tell you that there won't be a stream in case I want to go. There is still a chance that I don't go because I'm just the security guard, so I don't really know anyone there. So I may decide to be antisocial and not go. But I'd rather not leave you guys hanging. So I'm just going to say off the bat that there won't be a stream on Thursday, and then if I don't go, um, we'll just have a night off, which will give us some time to think about new topics for Sunday. At what point does modern poetry? Ooh, okay, that's a good one. Okay, guys, here we go. Part two, round two. Thank you, Garage Poets. At what point does modern poetry begin? Do you guys class beat poetry as modern poetry? I certainly do. But how modern is modern? That's a good question. That's a good question. If you asked me this when I first started my channel, I'd say modern poetry is insta poetry. But which it is, but also I would class beat poetry as being modern. Uh I apologize. I apologize to everyone if my comments seemed insensitive. It is hard to express oneself fully in characters. I care very much people feel both heard and safe. Thank you for listening. No, I think you're good, BB Ezra. I think you're good, BB. I didn't think your comment was insensitive. If it's just because I disagreed with you, I've been disagreeing with a couple of people in the chat tonight, but that doesn't mean I find them insensitive or anything like that. It's just that's just part about of being human. I don't think you were at all insensitive. In fact, I thought you were rather polite, and I get the point. I truly get the point about not censoring things for the sake of preserving history. I truly get that point. I hope I haven't upset you by disagreeing with you. Go to watch the people find you writing. Yeah, I could do that, couldn't I? That'd be interesting. None of them know that I do any of like I don't tell people when I'm in my security world. I don't often tell people that I write poetry because um how seriously are you taken as a security guard when you say I also write love poems? I tell one or two people, so they don't know that I do this. But I could go and watch with Pound, Ginsberg, Whitman, Bukowski. Yeah, yeah. This is a good point. How far back do we go before we say it's not modern? Is it a century thing? 19th century? Anything in maybe, maybe. How far into the 20th century do we get, or the 21st century do we get? Hang on, how does this work? I always forget. So the 1800s would be the 19th century, right? And the 1900s would be the 20th century, and now we're in the 21st century. Please tell me if I'm right in that, or did I just embarrass myself live to hundreds of people who will watch this in playback? Beat poetry, modern. I would agree, JD. Adam should go. What? Oh. I thought I was getting kicked out of my own live stream, Tanya. You mean go to the You mean go to the work party? I thought I was getting kicked out. Adam should go. He's talking absolute nonsense. Well, we do have 1,000 years of practice. Yeah, exactly. The poet's job is to stretch the limits of rules, so poetry evolves. Oh, behave, you're fine. That always makes me think of Austin Powers. Oh, behave. Thank you, Wednesday and Judge Death and Adam. I'll disagree away. History has been documented by the victors. This is that's a good point. Previously, that was typically the rich and the male. Yeah, I wonder who document our history. Yeah, and this is why I'm very aware that I'm a like you know working class white man. So when it comes to like offensive stuff, I'm very well aware that I am who I am and can't really possibly talk to anyone talk about or for for certain group and community. Modern history is post-Judaism. Okay, I'm not sure I'd agree with that. I wouldn't say that uh, Robert Browning or Elizabeth Barrett Browning was modern poetry. In my opinion, I'm not sure what historians say. I believe Wednesday Stroud, you've already said you're a historian, right? So that's the official answer. But for me, 1800s was yeah, that's it. So we are now in the 21st century. So I would say 20th century would be modern poetry. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know. I would say 20th century and 21st century obviously would be modern. 17th century to now is modern poetry. Just check modern history. I mean, interesting. 17th, that far back. See, I always thought of it 1900. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my brain tells me that the 20th century would be modern. The 1900s up to now to me is modern. Hobbyist historian here. That's awesome. I, I love history. I love history. I'm not. Uh, I wish I read up more than I do, but Judge Steph and I have both been talking over on the Cove in DMs and chat about World War II history. We're both fans of World War II history. I really want to read up on Tudors though, and the English Civil War and stuff. What do you consider modern? This heart is always in my way. What do you consider? I think it just says modern definition, right? What do you consider modern definition? Oh, Herb. You've stumped that. What do I consider modern to me? Ooh, that's a good one, guys. Help me out here. What is the meaning, the definition of modern? Maybe romantic in poetry circles. I was referring to historical terms. Modern. What do I term as modern? Relatable. I mean, no, not relatable. I know what I want to say. I just can't find the word because before anyone attacks me in the chat, I understand Shakespeare can be relatable since since the age of the printing press. That's a good answer. The definition of modern. Relate. Oh, I don't know how to put it. Help me out, guys. So I want to say, you know, it's recognizable in terms of society. Excuse my French. Excuse my language. I don't know. You got me there, Herb. You got me there. Relatable and identifiable culture and society. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go along, Herb. You got me there, and I don't have an answer. I would personally define the modern age as post-industrial. Okay, did I just take things way too literally and actually try and define the word? Someone be really sneaky and Google it and look like an absolute boss. That it's where most of our social and technological advances have taken place. All right, okay, good. I think that freedom of structure in poetry heralded a change in poetry that has made it modern. Freedom of structure in poetry heralded a change that has made it modern. Yeah, yeah. Do you mean like free verse stuff? I think we have the beats to thank for that, don't we? Correct. Again, please, guys, if I'm talking a load of nonsense and you know I'm talking a load of nonsense, please correct me. I'm all open to being corrected. Just do it nice. Don't call me thick as a brick. That's quite recent, isn't it? Mid-century. It started, as I recall, at the end of the naturalism period. Okay, you guys have. I'm going to leave you guys to just educate me now. The US post-Reconstruction. We've been sitting on 14 likes for a while now, guys. If we can get to 20 by the end of the hour, that would be great. That's our goal. We do, even if we don't quite hit it live, we do tend to hit it on playback. But if we can hit it live, then I'll be a happy boy. The late 1800s to early 1900s. When was, I know this sounds really bad, but when was the Wild West in the US? It was the 1800s, right? To be honest, guys, you've completely lost me. As much as I love history, um, I'm just kind of enjoying reading your comments at the moment. The beats are what first come to mind for me in terms of modern poetry. Then I found a lot reflected back to Whitman. When was Walt Whitman? Walt Whitman? Yeah. When was Walt Whitman? He was 1800s, possibly. I don't think he was 1700s. Was he 1700s? I don't. Talking to myself. I think the free verse movement really took shape in America. Yeah, it was massively influential to Sylvia Plath. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Wild West was 1840 to 1870. That's crazy. I'm trying to think London. I'm just trying to think in my head what London was like during the Wild West of America. Wasn't Dickens 18? Dickens was around that time, wasn't he? That's Victorian time for us? I think it had a lot to do with jazz in a way. Oh, beats were 100% massively inspired by jazz. That sort of open movement verse. Yeah, yeah, just riffing and going with it. Just, I believe I do know a really short period. I've never thought of that. I always attributed to the freedom of moving to the new world, the Victorian era. Yeah, that's crazy. Two very different worlds: smoky London and Wild West America. Child labour in the warehouses of London versus the dawn shootouts of Wild West America. Hey, I've got a question for American folks or anyone that might know the answer to this, just to kind of bring things back to poetry. Uh, were there any cowboys that wrote poetry? And I don't mean that in a silly way. Like, if there's any cowboy poetry out there, it's only just come to mind. But that sounds like something I would enjoy. Cowboy poetry, drinking LSD, and Buddhism. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It seems to me like music and poetry are really interconnected in the way the this love heart thing is just annoying, much like love. Eras, okay, express themselves. Yes, there is cowboy poetry. Okay, I'm definitely uh I'm definitely looking. Nah, the Wild West was mostly starvation and venereal disease. Shootouts rarely happen. Oh, oh. The last Western I watched was Back to the Future 3. You class that as a Western? It is a Western. I can't get comfortable. God. Still, I want to read some cowboy poetry. Any recommendation? Sorry to disappoint you, Adam. That's fine. That's fine. Next, you're going to be telling me there's no such thing as a DeLorean time machine. No, I'm not that silly. You can't trick me. Badger Clark. Okay. Okay, Badger Clark. I'll look into that. Cotton Eye Joe. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? All right, guys. We need to pull one out of the hat. We need to pull a discussion topic out of the hat. Whitman and Dickinson were 1850 to 1880. I think they were founders of American modern poetry. Do you know what? I didn't know Whitman and Dickinson were around at the same time. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, so okay. Whitman is kind of cowboy poet. Whitman, was he Wild West or was he around sort of East America where it was all built up and stuff? I'm pretty sure, again, someone's gonna have to correct. Dickinson wasn't Wild West, was she? As in, not like the time, the year. Uh, I mean like location. Oh, he wasn't a cowboy. Okay, cool. I just know that there's a very, very famous photo of him, isn't there, with that hat on, and suddenly you put the dates in front of. Oh wait, oh wait, the cowboy trope is mostly myth. Ah, guys, you're really, you're really destroying my. What's the word? You're really destroying my imagination. For want of another word, that'll do. I want to be a cowboy. Dickinson was born in Massachusetts. Ah, okay. Yeah. So East Coast, so around like the developed. If I don't mean this in an offensive way, Americans, but like the developed area of America before. I mean, I don't know too much about it at all. I just know that East Coast obviously was where it all started, wasn't it? And then people started moving out west. Walt Whitman is the earliest example of free verse poetry that I know of. Okay, way before the Beatles then. Built early Hollywood movies more than reality. Ah, that's a shame. That's a shame. I like the idea of being lawless. I would be a really crap cowboy though, wouldn't I? Let's be fair. I'm from Massachusetts. I know you are. I know you are. I believe you said Boston, right? Or am I wrong? Her relatives were Puritan, however, so she may have been inspired by them. I love this live stream, guys. It's turned into a history lesson. This is great. You guys are teaching, and I'm so cozy in my 3XL hoodie. I'm just chilling. Modern poetry. Yeah, we're just kind of discussing what defines modern poetry. I think a lot of us have kind of thought about the beat. That's probably, I would say, where my idea of modern poetry starts. Well, actually, no. No, 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 no. First World War poetry would probably be at the brink of what I would deem as modern poetry. Same with Alan Sexton, Jack Kerouac. I've missed something. Oh, yes, yes. Jack Kerouac is from Lowell, right? Lowell, Massachusetts. They've just finished painting a mural for him on the side of a church. It looks amazing. As in those who moved to America for a better life. I've missed something again. Their relatives were Puritans, however, so you may have been inspired by them. Oh, okay, got you. Malden is right next to Boston. Ah, okay. Peaky Blinders, the poet. That would be cool. I would buy that. I would absolutely buy that. If you've just come in, guys, please don't be shy. Jump in on the chat. We're not really talking about anything specific now. We're kind of just, well, we're kind of having a history lesson, which I'm enjoying, and kind of talking about modern poetry and what we define as modern poetry. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. We've been sitting on 14 likes for the whole half an hour so far, so I'd really appreciate it if you shared some love. Hit that like button. I set us always I always set us the target of hitting 20 likes before the end of the stream. So if you haven't already, please help us get there. We'd all really appreciate it. And if you came here because of the clickbait title, unfortunately, we have sort of discussed that in part one. So thank you very much. Someone hit that like button. I appreciate you. Whoever it was, I appreciate you. Um, as well as all the others that have hit like, of course, I appreciate you too. What was I going to say? Yeah, if you're here for the title cancelling, uh, whatever the title is now, I've forgotten. But you'll have to watch that once this gets uploaded as a playback. It was a great discussion. But unfortunately, we have moved on to the second half of the live stream. I googled it, related period from about 1500 to the present. Oh, okay. Now we're going back to Shakespeare's time. No, I mean, yeah, I suppose in the grand scheme of things, as long as the world has been around, maybe. I think World War One probably sets poetry on a different course. Victorians were very romantic in their poetry, but after World War One, everything definitely took on a new tone. Yeah, of course, as it would, as it would. Has anyone read World War One poetry? I've got quite a few books in my library. I say library, it's such a mess. It's just shelves and shelves, one bookcase, and lots of floor space. That's my library. I'd love to own a specific, like a whole room, just a library. One day, maybe. What is your favorite poetry resource book? Yeah. What is your favorite poetry resource book? I really like the Ode Less. What is it? Is it the Ode Less Traveled? Is that what it's called? Stephen Fry. I read that years when it first came out. I thought it was very good. I thought it was very good, and I believe I showed you on live stream um, on Sunday. This is like my Bible. If you want to know more about that book, watch The Last Life because I talk about it there. Well, it's a very useful resource. I know, Judge Jeff, that you have um, T.S. Eliot's book on writing poetry. I think it's called On Writing Poetry. I don't know, I could be wrong. I've got it, but I haven't opened it yet. You ordered it yesterday. Good man. You won't regret it. Trust me, you won't regret it. I wrote an essay on wartime poetry for history back at school. Oh wow. Wow, this live stream is definitely sort of your cup of tea, isn't it? I think I know that the poetry itself isn't romantic, but I think the idea of World War One soldiers writing poetry is romantic in a twisted sense. I really loved the Victorian era actually. They were like super into ghosts and stuff and poetry. I think I should have been born in 1800s. My boy Jack, I thought, you know what? At first glance, without actually taking it in, I thought you were saying my boy Jack the Ripper. I don't know why. I just saw my boy Jack, and then my eyes picked up the R of Rudyard. Yeah. My Boy Jack by Rudyard Kipling is one that sticks in my mind. Is that a war poet? Did Rudyard Kipling write war poetry? Did he go to war? Hang on. Thanks. Come back. Did he go to war? He was in India, wasn't he? I think so. You're testing my brain. Testing my brain. Don't do that. Don't do that. Victorians were obsessed with death and the afterlife. Yeah, they basically invented modern funeral industry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wish I was. Yeah, it's about losing son. Oh, okay. My boy Jack. I'll have to read. I went away to make some ramen. Hell yeah. And came back to my boy Jack. Yeah, yeah, quite an awkward line to come back to. I just misread what Wednesday's Charles said at the top of her chat. I misread it because I saw my boy Jack. By the time I got to Jack, my peripheral could see the R of Rudyard, and it sort of auto completed my boy Jack the Ripper. Don't know why. Writing prop, perhaps. My boy Jack the Ripper. I have Ted Hughes poetry in the making. That's what I meant. Wait, hang on. Does Ted Hughes also have a book on writing poetry? I feel like I have a book by Ted Hughes that is on writing, that's called On Writing Poetry, but I might just be making that up in my head. If I'm making that up in my head, then that's the one I've got, poetry in the making. I don't have any T.S. Eliot on writing poetry. That book exists. I'm getting it though. I might be making it up in my head. That's perfect. It could make a lovely Christmas poem for the party. Hey guys, I haven't told you, but in my spare time I write poetry. And I thought for this Christmas party, to set the scene, I'd read you my latest poem, My Boy, Jack the Ripper. Could you imagine? In Flanders Fields, of course, probably one of the best known. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have, so I've been, Wednesday's child, you might like this. I've been doing a family archive, right, and going through all the um, history of my family stuff. And I had Francis Gary, I think it would make, no, I don't know what it would make him. My, my great great granddad's son. So my but but he's not in my blood. I mean, he's my bloodline, but I'm not a descendant from him. I'm descendant from his sister. So whatever that makes. Francis Gary, he died in Flanders Field, or at least that's what the war record. He's buried in Belgium. Can't remember who it was written by. Hey Siri, who was hmm who was Flanders? No, scrap all of that. In Flanders Fields, who wrote that poem? I can't speak. Sorry, Siri. I hope you registered any of that. Hey, I found this on the web. It was in Flanders scrap, as in Flanders Field. Just I really hope Mike picked that up. No, no, sorry, Siri. Can you tell me who wrote in Flanders Field? I'm sorry, Siri. Who wrote in Flanders Field? There you go, guys. John McCrae. Thank you, Siri. Bye. You're welcome. Oh, there you go. Herb got it. Did the mic pick up everything that Siri was saying? Did you guys just go on that long journey with me? I really hope you guys heard all of that. It was typical, typical moment in my life. 16 likes. Excellent. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. We got 20 minutes to get to 20. If you've got any poetry friends that you can share the link to, please get them in here, get them in the discussion, get them liking, get them subscribed. Let's go. The little box here that says 5,548 is actually live. So if you can get anyone to come and subscribe to the channel, that should move up. That should move up live as we do this stream. Sounded like Babel. Oh, so you guys did hear it? I saw in your Elizabeth Barrett Browning a book on the desk. Being the book lover that I am, I think I found it. Starlight Wood walking back to the romantic countryside. Uh, which video are we talking about? Are we talking about On the Hunt, or are we talking about me reading her poetry? If I'm not on Poetry Cove, is there a place where I can read some of your work? Is that the Wednesday's trial? Probably my dictionary and thesaurus. I need some poetry guide. There you go. There's my jingle for tonight. Did I miss something? No. To everyone. Oh, okay. On the hunt, on the hunt, on the hunt. What was the book you said? That doesn't ring a bell. Brown being Starlight Wood, walking back to the romantic countryside. That doesn't ring a bell. That doesn't ring a bell. Hang on, I'll get a link for you. And you know what? It won't even be an affiliate. Oh, wait, which book? I think I had two books. I had the book of poems, and I also had ah, wait, what's this? Okay, you've lost me for a second, guys. I'm on Amazon. But I just found another book that I might buy. What's this? Ah, okay, I just found a book that I'm gonna buy. That's my problem. No, so the book that I was reading is called Two-Way Mirror: The Life of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. That was the biography that I was reading. Honestly, wouldn't really recommend it. It's not really a biography, which is why I've just found a book that I might buy, because it's another biography. And again, I'm not on the chat. You lost me to Amazon, guys. Sorry. Um, I'll have to Browning poetry complete works. Wait, I didn't. Hang on. I don't know what I'm doing. Right. So no, I didn't even copy the link. Okay. I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys. Right. Go back. Two-way mirror. Copy link. YouTube Studio. Chat. Paste. Right. That's the link. Oh, I can't even do that because it's too many characters. Okay. You're gonna have to just get a pen and paper and write it down. It's called It's called Two-Way Mirror: The Life of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Again, I wouldn't really recommend it. There was too much of in my eyes, too much of an agenda by the author rather than just sticking to the fact of her life. Um, and then Elizabeth Barrett Browning complete work. Oh, laptop. Sorry, guys, if you're all in the chat talking to me. I'm just trying to get this for you guys. It works. I'm not signed into Amazon laptop, which is why I haven't gone to my order history. So you'll have to bear with me. Okay. Okay. I don't recognize any others. I believe Wordsworth Poetry Library, the collected poems of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. The cover is like a light blue top with lots of pages on the bottom half from Amazon. All my books are from Amazon. So, right, I'm back. Um, yes, there are Cowboys poets. Back to Black, Curly Fletcher, Ollie McRae, Wading, Mark Ramsey are just a few. Oh, wow. Thank you, Tanya. I have a sneaking suspicion, Tanya, that you might not be watching live. I know that you're watching this now, but I believe maybe on break something happened. I don't know if you accidentally pressed pause, but I have a sneaking suspicion that you're a little way behind us, and you're not going to see this until in the future. So quite a predicament. But you might want to skip, get the red ball and skip it. Make sure you're all the way to the right, so you're watching live. Yeah, I saw the name Fiona Sampson on the line of the book in that video. I thought it was Starlight Wood walking back to the romantic countryside. Looks like a good book. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Um, yeah, you might like it. I personally, when I read biographies, I don't really want. This sounds so bad, but I don't really want outside opinion or whatever from the author. I just want the biography. That's why I'm there, and it was quite politicized. That book, I personally felt it's like when Robin Williams passed. I wanted to read a biography, and I clicked on the first one that came up, and you I didn't even look at the publishing date, but you could tell it was just basically news articles copied and pasted into this book. It was just a money grab, and I think that's so disrespectful. Clearly, just doing it because Robin Williams had just passed, wanted to make a quick buck. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Didn't we talk about that last stream? Dictionary and thesaurus being really great resources. I know that Judge Death has a fantastic habit of reading his dictionary for pleasure. something I wish I had the discipline, thank you, discipline to do. Hello to all the new people jumping in. Please hit that like button. We are on the road to 20 likes by. Oh, we've only got 14 minutes. 14 minutes before like that's that's definitely doable. So if you're watching this and you haven't liked, please, please make sure you hit that like button. And do feel encouraged to get involved in the chat. We're at the moment we're not really talking about anything in particular. We're just kind of hanging out. So do pop in the chat and say what's up. And if you haven't subscribed, so you hit that subscribe button. We got to hit 20,000 likes. Calm down, calm down. We got to hit 10,000 likes this time next year. 10,000 subscribers. It's definitely bedtime for me. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. By the way, I'm not sure if I'm not sure who's still watching. If you're still watching, if you're still here, just say hey in the chat, just so I know who's still around. You don't have to say anything else. Just hey, what's up? I'm here. Just so I know who's about. Hey, okay, good. Judge Death. Thank you. Wednesday's Child. Excellent, good stuff. Whoa, look at all those hearts coming in. Thank you. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. I don't think I've seen you before. If I have, um, sorry that I don't remember you. My apologies. But welcome to Conversing with Poets. Good to see you. Herb. Hey, Herb. Excellent, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so we do still have some people around. That's good. Zero Tank. Hello, welcome back to Conversing with Poets. Dazzle in the dark. Hey, what's up? What's up? Keep dazzling. Present. Hey, BB. Hey, listening as I work. Excellent. Hello, Kaylee. Listening as I work. Whistle while I work. No, that's not the. What's the tune? What's the Seven Dwarfs tune? Hi ho, hi ho, it's not working ho. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Just look at all those hearts coming in. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Wicked. Thanks, guys. Okay, we got 10 minutes. We've only got 4 more likes to go. All right, what can we do? What can we do? Is there a game we can play just for the last 10 minutes? Is there a game that we can play? I still have that. Talking of cowboys, cowboy poetry, there's a game in my drawer that someone was kind enough to gift to me for free, which is awesome, right? I made a video on it. I can't remember what it's called though. Can anyone remember that game that I played where you kind of pull out a deck of cards and it kind of instructs you on how to play? Maybe we could do that for a live stream, guys. What do you think? We can all play it together. I can put this camera on a tripod actually, and we can play. What is your favorite poetry exercise? My favorite. I do have one, and I'm going to get back to that. I do have one, and I recommend it. Oh no, um, tarot. No, 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 no. There's a. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Do you know what? It'll be easier if I just get it out, won't it? My mind is always in the gutter, I swear. Something Bandit. There you go. The Gentleman's Bandit. Yeah. Do you guys have you guys seen the video where I play the Gentleman's Bandit? Ouija. No, I did that once, and not never. Um. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but what do you guys think? Shall we Shall I do a live stream of playing that? We can all like contribute to it, get involved. It's a good game. It's a really good game. Parrot, you're amazing. Zane Graham, phone is acting up. No worries, Tanya. I hope. Yeah, you seem to be having tech difficulties. Another stable. I've got a funny feeling, Tanya, might be a little bit behind. Ouija is a scary endeavor. Yeah, yeah. I won't be doing a Ouija ever again. Yes, games. Okay, cool. Love the exquisite court. I'm not sure about what that is. Explain what that is, Garage Poets, if you've got a spare hand. I know you said you're on errand. And someone asked a very good question. What is your favorite poetry exercise? So I've got a video, and I think the title is How to Write Poetry Anywhere. It might not be, but there's an exercise where you basically just it's a great therapy um form of therapy, I think, and just a great way of calming the mind and just living in the moment. Where you basically go to a park or you go to a high street and sit outside a coffee shop or wherever you can sort of observe comfortably. Don't do it where you feel self-conscious observing people and things. And you basically just write down, without overthinking it, just write down what you see and what you hear, what you smell, all your senses, all the good stuff. And you should have fun by the end of it. Let me see if it's a video. Well, it is a video. I know it's a video. Let me get the title for you because it's my favorite and I recommend it. And I did in the summer, I did a festival, like a mental health, mental well-being festival, and it's what I got everyone to do. And we had some amazing results and some amazing poems came from it. So let me see if I can find the title for you real quick. I know you guys are being super awesome and I'm ignoring you again. Well, I'm just trying to get this for you because I would wholeheartedly recommend. Let me just search my channel because I've got a feeling the title is. Oh, I can't search my channel. Can I search my channel? No, I can't search my channel. That's done. Playlist. Playlist. Reading to you. Let's talk. Channel members. Videos on the hunt. Let's play. No reviews. How to. Would it? How to. I think it's in how to. Right. Man, my thumbnails used to be pretty damn good. If I do say so myself. Sorry, guys. I know it's here somewhere. I didn't think. Wow, there's videos here I forgot I even made. No, I don't know where it is. Where is it? I know there's a video on my channel about it somewhere. I'll have to find it, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find it. I'll find it, and I'll leave it in the comment section on the playback. So if you really want to know what it is, I'll leave it on a comment on the playback of this video. 17 likes, guys, and 5 minutes to go. Thank you so much. We got this. We got. If not, I know the playback viewers will cover us. They got our back. Right, let me. Oh, wow, you guys have really been popping off in the chat. I need to catch up. Something we used to do on Insta is offer a statement or word. People write 6-line stories to it. Yeah, that starts to enter write along territory, which is going to be the first Sunday of January. I've got the footage back from Bruno. We're all ready to go, so keep your eyes out for that. There's a writing prompt that I used to do that might translate to poetry. We had a box of topics on folded paper and another box with objects. Pick them out, write a piece. That's really cool. There's a game. There's also a game called Paint Chip Poetry. That's kind of good. You did good. I get what you mean. That would be a great exercise for poetry. No, no, I got you. I got you, Wednesday's child. You're good. You didn't explain that badly. That sounds fun. And check these hearts coming in. Thank you, guys. Whoever's doing that, thank you. That sounds fun. And like get loads of thanks, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Self prompt or thank you, guys. Whoever's doing that, thank you. 3 easy poetry exercise. Now, I thought it would be that one, but I remember I could have sworn that it was a whole video for its own. Thank you, guys. You're the best. 18 likes. Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, you guys are the best. Um, it might be that video, but I literally did the exercise along with the video, and it was a whole big thing. I had to go to a park and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a video of itself. I thought that the title of the of the video would be "How to Write Poetry Anyway." Something tells me that's the title. Maybe I forgot to put it in the playlist because I only looked through the playlist. As I say, come back in about an hour or whatever. Come back to the playback version and check the comment section, and I'll leave it in there if I find it. All right, we've just got a few more minutes left, guys. So let's wrap this up. We came close to 20, didn't quite hit it, but I know that the guys watching playback will look after us. So yeah, just to remind you guys, I am not gonna go live on Thursday. I'm not going live on Thursday, but I will be back on Sunday. So hopefully between us all, there's going to be plenty of time to come up with a good uh, topic, 2 topics for discussion. We've got 2 more minutes left. If you're watching this and you haven't liked the video, do us a favor. We just need 2 more likes. If you can get us up to 20 likes, you're a saint. You're a saint. If you can do that, I challenge you. But otherwise, I'm going to catch you guys on Sunday. Thank you for being respectful in part 1 and for the debate and the backwards and forwards. It's good. It's a important topic to have, I think, and we can come back to it if you guys want to come back to it at some point. We can. Um, Otherwise, I guess I'm gonna be signing out. It was a great stream. It was a really good stream, and we got a lot of viewers in today. We've pretty much, I think, we've pretty much had at least 10 viewers the whole time, if not more. So that's a good, to me, that's a successful stream. Always a great stream. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys make it a good stream. I just sit here and host the stream and talk with you guys. Um, you guys make it. It's you guys that make it a good stream or a bad stream. So, not that we've had a bad stream. I'm just saying it's all you guys. I'm just here talking. Have a good party later this week. Thank you very much, Zero Tank. I will. I will. I may on the day get antisocial and not go, but as I said earlier, I'd rather tell you guys that there's no stream rather than say, oh, there may or may not be a stream and then keep you guys, um, you know, in the middle. You know me. You know me by now. I can't talk. Thanks for sharing, everyone. Yeah, thanks for being here, Herb. It's great to see you over here, and I'd love to see you more on the Cove. I know you're a member of the Cove, so I'd love to get the forum going a bit more. So, guys, don't be shy over on the forum. Cool. We're at 7. We didn't quite hit 20, but that's okay. Uh, the playback guys will will do that for us. So I'm going to say goodnight, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being respectful. Thank you for all your love and support. I know I'm posting a lot on community tab and stuff, but you guys are. I mean, this is all because of you guys. As I said, you guys have really picked me up and motivated me, and now I'm writing poetry again. Honestly, guys, I don't say it lightly. It's because of you that I'm feeling good again. I'm picked up. I'm writing poetry. I'm doing all these live streams. And come January, we'll have a write along. We'll have consistent content, and yada yada yada. I don't want to give you guys too big of an ego, so I mean, you're all right, I guess. Good night, guys. See you later, and I'll see you on Sunday. I look forward to it.